Welcome back to the channel, guys, and thank you very much for all of your support and love on my Everest Base Camp video series. And also thank you people who started me following on Instagram. I'm getting lots of comments on my YouTube videos and messages on Instagram about Everest Base Camp trek. So I'm going to put all the details about Everest Base Camp trek within this single video. So I'm going to discuss about the trekking cost, itinerary, trekking gears, preparation, fitness, difficulty level, and AMS, that is altitude mountain sickness. Very first and very important topic is the trekking cost. In simple word, I'll say Everest Base Camp trek is a little bit expensive. Shortly in 3 steps, I will summarize the trekking cost. Lukla to Everest Base Camp and Everest Base Camp to Lukla. It will cost you around 35 to 40,000 Indian rupees. Kathmandu to Lukla and Lukla to Kathmandu round trip flight cost you around 15,000 Indian rupees. Reaching to the Kathmandu, it's totally depend on your region where you are staying. So using this simple 3 steps, you can calculate your trekking cost. But this cost doesn't include your trekking gears. Trekking cost I further divided into few sections: trekking permits, food, accommodation, the gear cost, domestic flights in Nepal, Lukla to Kathmandu and Kathmandu to Lukla, and travel or trekking insurance. So talking about the trekking permits, we require 2 permits. One is from Lukla, that is Kumbhopasang Lamu Rural Municipality tourist fee, and other we have to get it from Jorsale village near Monjo, that is Sagarmatha National Park permit. So at Lukla we have to pay 2000 Nepali rupees, and at Jorsale for Sagarmatha National Park permit we have to pay 1500 Nepali rupees, that is for Indians, and for foreigners they have to pay 3000 Nepali rupees. Why it's like that? Because India is the part of SAARC country. What is the SAARC country? The South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation. There was a comment, someone is asking about the documents required for trekking permit. So very first you have to show your passport. If you are Indian and you are not traveling by flights, you are traveling by road, you have to carry your government IDs like election card, Aadhaar card, PAN card or driving license. If you have all these 4, carry with you. For Annapurna region trekking, I'm not sure still the Trekkers Information Management System card, TIMS card is required or not. But for Everest region, it's no longer required since 2017. You only need 2 permits, which I mentioned. Now, food expenses. As I told you, 35,000 to 40,000 Indian rupees from Lukla to Everest Base Camp and Everest Base Camp to Lukla. It also includes food cost, but here we are discussing the day-wise expense. So day-wise, if you consider in Nepali rupees, it will be 2,000 to 3,000 or slightly 3,500 Nepali rupees per day. So in general, the food menu, dal bhat, 350 Nepali rupees to 550 Nepali rupees. Bread with honey, 400 Nepali rupees to 600 Nepali rupees. Black tea, 100 rupees. Coffee, 150 rupees. Hot chocolate, somewhere 400, somewhere it will be for 500 Nepali rupees. Accommodation. When you're traveling from your country to Kathmandu, before traveling to Lukla, you will be spending a day in Kathmandu. So you also have to consider that accommodation expenses. I paid 1,500 Indian rupees for one day in Kathmandu. There are many good hotels outside of Tribhuvan International Airport. You can try to book it online or you can directly go there. Once you start your trek from Lukla, your accommodation cost will vary from lower altitude places to higher altitude places. When I was in Phakding, I got one room with twin sharing bed for 200 Nepali rupees per person per day. So that was off season, so I was the only person in the room. So minimum 200 Nepali rupees to maximum 700 Nepali rupees I paid during my trek. 200 Nepali rupees at Phakding, 500 Nepali rupees per day at Namche Bazaar, 700 per day Nepali rupees at Tengboche, Dingboche, Lobuche and Gorakshep. So at Namche Bazaar you have to spend 2 days, so that will be 1000 Nepali rupees. At Dingboche you have to spend 2 days, then that will be 1400 Nepali rupees. Lobuche, Gorakshep, Tengboche you have to spend 1 night, so that will be 700 rupees per days. So guys, I am recording this video in 2022. I did my trek in 2021, so the cost of accommodation, food and the other expenses may slightly change in coming years. So you have to keep searching on internet for the latest updates. Talking about trekking gears, there are 4 main trekking gears which are very costly: down jacket, rucksack, sleeping bag and trekking shoes. Down jacket, rucksack and sleeping bag, I bought it during my first Himalayan trek, which was Rupkund in year 2018. Wildcraft down jacket cost me around 4,500 rupees. Wildcraft 65 liters rucksack cost me around 4,200 rupees. Wildcraft sleeping bag, which works till minus 10 degree, it cost me around 4,700 rupees. Trekking shoe, I bought Quechua Trek 100 waterproof shoe from Decathlon, which cost me around 5,999 Indian rupees. All other trekking gears which I carried on Everest Base Camp trek, I will show you in the last part of this video. Domestic flights in Nepal. From Kathmandu to Lukla and Lukla to Kathmandu, round trip will cost you around 15,000 Indian rupees. This cost is for only Indians. For foreigners, it will be little higher because India is a part of SAARC country. Now, how to book these flights? There is a long story how I book my Kathmandu to Lukla and Lukla to Kathmandu tickets. For Indians, the flight booking apps like GoIBiBo, MakeMyTrip, Booking.com, you will not get to see any flight from Kathmandu to Lukla on these websites. You can see flight details only on the Nepali airlines, Summit Airs, Buddha Airs, Yeti Airlines, Tara Airlines. So I tried to book my tickets from Yeti Airlines website. Whenever I was trying to do transaction with my Indian credit cards and debit cards, my transaction is getting failed. So I did lot of research on this, and then I got to know every Indian credit card and debit card, if you turn back the card and read, there is one note: it's not allowed for foreign exchange in Nepal and Bhutan. I believe that's the reason the online transactions are not allowed for Indian credit card and debit cards. So what I did, I got customer care number of Yeti Airline from their website and I directly called them. So over the phone, they confirmed my dates of departure and arrival. They confirmed my ticket just over phone. They sent me a ticket itinerary on my email from their official email ID, and they said whenever you are landing to the Kathmandu, I have to go to their sales office and I can pay Nepali rupees in cash. That was the story. Nepali people are so cooperative. So when I landed to the Kathmandu, very first I went to the Yeti Airlines sales office, which is just I think 1.5 or 2 kilometers from the Tribhuvan International Airport. It's on the same road. You can just walk till there. So one important thing about the domestic flight from Kathmandu to Lukla and Lukla to Kathmandu. Lukla is one of the most dangerous airport in the world. It's in a hilly region, so weather is so unpredictable. If you have seen my last video, part 11, so I missed my flight due to bad weather, and depending on that, my international flight from Kathmandu to Delhi and Delhi to Pune also got missed. So whenever you are planning, just be sure that you are having 1 or 2 days in a spare in your trekking itinerary. Let's talk about travel and trekking insurance. There is a difference between travel and trekking insurance. I am going to speak more about trekking insurance. Why do we need trekking insurance? Altitude mountain sickness, accidents and flight cancellation. These are the 3 major risks on Everest Base Camp trek. If you are planning to get trekking insurance for Everest Base Camp, make sure your policy covers emergency evacuation till 6,000 meters. I am going to share few links in the description. You can check those. Adventure Sports covers 360, that is asc360.com. World Nomad, these are the 2 companies I know which provides insurance for Everest Base Camp trek. I checked on the asc360.com for the premium. Premium depends on your age and number of days you are spending on the trail. It starts from 8,500 Indian rupees and varies on your age and number of days you are spending on the trail. Trekking insurance is not mandatory for Everest Base Camp trek, but I think in some regions of Nepal, trekking insurance is mandatory. I didn't opt trekking insurance for my Everest Base Camp trek. I was only having normal travel insurance, which cost me around 700 Indian rupees. Trekking itinerary. Everest Base Camp trek can be completed in 14 to 15 days. There is other route to reach Everest Base Camp other than this conventional way, but I followed the trekking itinerary which usually the trekking companies follows. On day 1, you have to reach Kathmandu and you will be staying overnight in the Kathmandu. On day 2, try to get early morning flight to Lukla. Lukla is situated at the altitude of 9,393 feet. Once you reach Lukla, you can take your breakfast in the Lukla, and at the end of the village, you will get tourist permit. Reaching to the Phakding, you have to cover 9 kilometers and trail is pretty much easy. It's all descent all the way. You can reach Phakding in 3 to 4 hours. Once you reach Phakding, you can have your lunch there. Your day 3 is going to be very tough. Phakding to Namche Bazaar, you have to cover 10 kilometers in 7 to 8 hours. Namche Bazaar altitude is 11,290 feet. On your day 3, you have to get your Sagarmatha National Park permit from Jorsale village near Monjo. Start your trek early in the morning from Phakding because reaching Namche Bazaar is the one of the toughest day on your Everest Base Camp trek. On your day 3, Monjo is the best place to have your lunch. Your day 4 will be your acclimatization day. For acclimatization hike, Hotel Everest View is the best destination. It's around 3 to 4 kilometers and it's at altitude of 12,729 feet. Take your breakfast where you are staying at Namche Bazaar. Get ready with your day pack, which is having raincoat, warm layers, water bottles, first aid kit and trekking poles. It's not just an acclimatization hike, but you will be blessed with the first view of Mount Everest from Hotel Everest View. On acclimatization day, you don't have to stay inside your hotel room. You have to go at the higher elevation place and come back because go high and sleep low. This is the rule of acclimatization. You can come back till 3 p.m. in the afternoon and then after that you can explore Namche Bazaar's market. There are various shops in the Namche Bazaar. You can do some shopping if you want. After spending 2 nights at Namche Bazaar, on day 5 you will be on the way to Namche Bazaar to Tengboche. Today you have to cover 9.2 kilometers and Tengboche is situated at the altitude of 12,700 feet. On day 5 I had my lunch at Kenjuma with stunning views of Mount Amadablam. Sanasa is also a good place to have lunch. The toughest section of day 5 will start after Phungitenga suspension bridge. Steep ascent almost for 2.5 hours. On day 6 you will be on the way to Tengboche to Tengboche and today you have to cover 10.8 kilometers. Tengboche is situated at the altitude of 14,468 feet. Somare is the best place to have a lunch. You can spend some time there, don't rush. Do spend some time at Somare, don't rush because you will be gaining altitude. Day 7 is the acclimatization day at Tengboche. You can wake up little bit late by 7 or 8 am in the morning. Then after breakfast, get ready for acclimatization hike on the top of Nagarjun Hill. Most of the trekkers hike just halfway up the Nagarjun Hill, but it's good to hike up to the top. Once you reach at the top, you will be at the altitude of 16,668 feet. You will get to see stunning views of Mount Amadablam and surrounding mountain range. Once you back from your acclimatization hike, you can have your lunch where you are staying at Tengboche. On day 8, you will be starting your trek from Tengboche to Lobuche. If everything is good, your health is good, you don't have any symptoms of AMS, you can continue your trek. Lobuche's elevation is 16,210 feet and you will be covering 7 kilometers on day 8. The initially trail is little bit flat with a gradual ascent till Lukla. You can take some rest and your lunch at Lukla. After Lukla there is a steep ascent and once you cross that ascent part, you will be at Lukla Pass where the Everest memorials are situated. Everest memorials are the memorials of the mountaineers who lost their lives on Everest and on other mountains during their expeditions. Day 9. Day 9 is the most awaited day. You should start your trek early in the morning from Lobuche for Gorakshep. It's a 3 kilometer trek till Gorakshep and you will be at the altitude 16,942 feet. Once you reach Gorakshep, take the room, keep your rucksack over there, take your day pack, have your lunch and start for Everest Base Camp. From Gorakshep to Everest Base Camp, it's a 3 kilometers and you will be at the altitude of 17,598 feet. After spending some time at Everest Base Camp, you have to come back 3 kilometers at Gorakshep before it gets dark. This night you will be spending at Gorakshep. If you are planning to attempt Kala Patthar, you have to wake up 3 am in the night and by 4 am you have to start your hike for Kala Patthar. Kala Pathar's altitude is 18,519 feet. I was unable to attempt the Kala Patthar because on the day when I was on the way to Everest Base Camp, the weather was not good. Day 10. If you are going to attempt Kala Patthar, you have to wake up 3 am in the night. Get ready by 4 o'clock and start your hike for Kala Patthar. It will take 2 hours to reach Kala Patthar. Kala Pathar's altitude is 18,519 feet. Once the sun rises, you can spend some time at Kala Patthar and come back to the Gorakshep. Take your breakfast at Gorakshep and start your return journey. On day 10, you have to reach Tengboche or Feriche. Trekkers used to prefer to stay at Feriche because Feriche is little bit lower in altitude than Tengboche. Day 10 will be tough, going to Kala Patthar, returning back to Gorakshep and from Gorakshep to Feriche or Tengboche. the total distance will be 13 kilometers. On day 11, if you are staying at Tengboche, your altitude will be 14,468 feet. Or if you are staying at Feriche, you will be at the altitude 14,340 feet. On day 11, get up early, take your breakfast and start your trek towards Namche Bazaar. So on the way, you will be having your lunch at Tengboche. This is going to be another toughest day. You have to cover approximately 20 kilometers. I took 8 to 9 hours to reach Namche Bazaar. Day 12, last day of your actual trek, Namche Bazaar to Lukla. You will be starting your trek from Namche Bazaar, 11,290 feet towards Lukla at the altitude 9,393 feet. Total distance from Namche Bazaar to Lukla is approximately 19 kilometers. So get up early in the morning, take your breakfast in Namche Bazaar, start your descent. You can take your lunch at Monjo or maybe at Phakding. From Phakding, it will take 2 to 3 hours slowly to reach Lukla. Day 13, you will be flying back from Lukla to Kathmandu. Try to get early morning flight, probably the first flight, because the weather is very unpredictable at Lukla. So at any point of time, clouds may come and airport will be disappear into the clouds and flights may cancel. So that's why I suggest you to add extra 1 to 2 days in your itinerary if your flight is cancelled or something. On day 14, after spending one night at Kathmandu, you will be traveling back to your country, and this is the itinerary you can follow. The most awaited part of this video, trekking gears. So trekking gears I have further divided into few sections. Your main essential trekking gears, clothing, first aid kit, toiletries and electronic gadgets. So in the main and essential trekking gear, I have considered sleeping bag, trekking pole, water bottles, trekking shoe, lighter or matchbox, headlamp with extra batteries. Matchbox and lighters are not allowed on flights. You have to take it from Lukla and you have to leave it at Lukla. Micro spikes, 60 to 65 liters rucksack and your day pack. Day pack is nothing but your small backpack. So this is my sleeping bag. Even it was November, I haven't used this sleeping bag on Everest Base Camp trek because it was off season. I was the single person in the room, so there were 2 beds and 2 blankets. So I took advantage of that. I carried sleeping bag, but I haven't used it at all. This is the trekking pole I was using. It's like an ice axe in its structure. It has this handle. Also, it has this emergency torch. You can lose it and you can use it in case of emergency. It has this simple compass. I ordered this from Flipkart, around 700 Indian rupees. So as a second trekking pole, I was using my monopod. I mounted my mobile gimbal on that monopod and I was using it as a second trekking pole. Water bottles, most important part. These are the 2 water bottles I was carrying. One is metallic and other one is plastic. So this is in 700 ml and this is approximately 1 liter. So I would suggest you must carry one metallic water bottle with you. Whenever you are going to bed in the night, it will be very cold. You can fill this bottle with boiled water and you can take this bottle inside your bed. It will keep you really warm. 1 liter warm or boiled water will cost you around 300 to 400 Nepali rupees. Another most essential trekking gear, your trekking shoe. On Everest Base Camp trek, I would highly recommend to use waterproof and high ankle shoe like this. This is Quechua Trek 100 which I bought from Decathlon for 5,999. It's waterproof and high ankle. It has very good grip from Lobuje to Gorakhshep until Everest Base Camp. You will be crossing lot many boulders. In between those boulders there are small gaps, I would say small crevasses. If your legs stuck inside that crevasse, it will be a problem for you. It's very important that you would be wearing this type of high ankle shoe. And also why it's important, your shoe should be waterproof. If there is a continuous snowfall on the trek, so there are chances your normal shoe will get drenched. So that will be a very problematic for you. Nothing special about the lighter and matchbox. You can get it from Lukla. But do remember one thing, matchbox and lighters are not allowed on flights. Just make sure while going to Everest Base Camp you are taking it from Lukla, and while coming back you have to leave it at Lukla. Next, head torch. This head torch I bought from Amazon. It's not too expensive. It cost me around 300 Indian rupees. It has this high beam, low beam, this red LED and this red blinking LED indications for help. The main essential trekking gear, your rucksack. This is my Wildcraft Trailblazer 60 liters backpack. I can access this backpack from 3 different locations. The bottom, I can keep my shoes or sleeping bag here. Also, I can access this from this middle portion. Things which are kept between lower part and upper part, I can access easily from here, and of course from top portion. 2 other pouches, this one from inside, this one is the outer, this net pocket, again one side pocket, another pouch for water bottle, another side pocket. One thing of this rucksack I most like is the back support system. It has Vertex Pro back support system, very firm cushions here on this waist belt as well, on your shoulder straps as well. It's very comfortable. Once I put it on my shoulder and tied the strap properly, it feels like it's my body part. Also, it has the inbuilt rain cover. Remember, if your rucksack is not having rain cover, you should buy it separately. In the mountains, you cannot predict about the weather. There can be a snowfall, there can be a rainfall. To keep your belongings dry, you should have rain cover for your rucksack. Day pack. Day pack nothing but your small backpack from 25 liters to 40 liters. You can keep your quick accessible things in day pack. Your rain jacket, poncho, water bottles, first aid kit, like that. If you are hiring porter, he will be carrying your rucksack and you will be carrying your day pack. Let's discuss about the clothing. On the Himalayan treks, you should be having your proper clothing, your warm layers, your rain covers. So let's discuss about the clothing. This is the Quechua men's raincoat, half zip NH100. This cost me 499 Indian rupees. You can squeeze this inside its own pocket. Let me show you. It's very lightweight. And this is the pocket where you can squeeze this inside. Look, this is Quechua men's waterproof hiking over trouser NH500. This cost 699 Indian rupees. Then you must carry woolen cap, sun cap. This I bought from Thamel for 300 Nepali rupees. Trekking pants like this. This is water repellent. This is also I bought from Thamel for 1200 Nepali rupees. And I was also carrying one quick dry track pant. I use only 2 trekking pants on my complete Everest Base Camp trek. I washed them at Namche Bazaar and Tengboche. So I was carrying these Jockey sports socks, 4 pairs. These are ankle size. Also, I was carrying 2 full size normal socks and these woolen socks. These are thick woolen socks which I bought from Sankri during my Kedarkanta trek. These are very useful at the night. So I carried 2 pairs of thermal. This one, this one, this one. This is the lower. Then again, you must carry one fleece jacket or lightweight sweater. So I was not carrying the fleece, I was carrying this sweater. You can see this brown sweater. The next one, very important, down jacket. This is Wildcraft down jacket. Down jacket actually made up of duck feathers. So this is very lightweight. You can squeeze this inside this. This is very warm. I'll show you how I used to squeeze it inside. This is water repellent, not waterproof. There are many questions like padded jacket versus down jacket. Padded jacket are cheaper, but they are slightly heavy in the weight. It's not convenient to carry on these kind of treks. So I would suggest you to get something like this. Wind cheater is very useful when it's a stormy, windy. But instead of wind cheater, I preferred my raincoat. Quick dry t-shirts. I was carrying 5 to 6 quick dry t-shirts. This is one. This is the hoodie, but it's a quick dry. It's a little thicker than the other t-shirts, so that's why I'm specifically showing you, because it has a hood. 3 full sleeve t-shirts like this, 2 half sleeve quick dry t-shirts like this. Balaclava or neck warmer, you can see in this video. This is what I was using as a neck warmer. Towel, microfiber towel or scarf. So I was using a scarf which I bought from the Lohajang during my Rupkund trek. This is lightweight, it's a square. You can use it like a buff around your neck, like this. If you're going into desert, if you don't have sunglasses, you can put it on your eyes. It's a little bit transparent. If you can see me, I don't know, from the single layer, you can use it as a sunglasses. It's very lightweight. You can use it as a towel. It's a multi-purpose. So I was using this one, and it's just 60 Indian rupees. Again, important piece of your cloth, hand gloves. This is normal woolen hand gloves which I was carrying, and I also bought this pair from Thamel market. These are snow proof. I can show you if you can see. These are snow proof, and these are having fleece hand gloves inside it. So you have to put this fleece first, and then after that you can wear this one. So let's move to the next section. Perspective and medicine. You can carry glucose or Glucon-D with you. Tablets. What kind of medicine you should use? So it's not really that you should be using medicine in the mountains, but in case of any emergency, you must have that medicine with you. Painkillers, muscle relaxant tablets, diarrhea tablets, tablets for the vomiting, paracetamol, fever tablet, Dimox. This particular tablet I'm going to discuss in the altitude mountain sickness part. Vaseline, body lotion, sun cream, Volini or Omni gel spray, muscle relaxant, some bandages, should be waterproof, cotton, crepe bandage, water purification tablets, antiseptic lotion like Savlon or Dettol. The next piece of gear, it's not compulsory that you should be having, but if you are going solo and you are doing trek at your own in the Himalayas, you must carry this device, oxypulse meter. You must carry this device. I'm going to share again oxygen saturation level chart as per the altitude. I have shared that chart in my part 3 video. I'm going to share this again. I'll also share that chart in the altitude mountain sickness discussion part. Sanitizer, dry cough syrup, because the air is too dry in the Everest region, you can catch Kumbu cough. That is very dangerous. Some strepsils, wicks or cough syrups. Next section, toiletries. Toothbrush, toothpaste, soap strips, toilet paper. It's very costly in the mountains. Better you carry it before entering into the mountains. You can carry wet wipes. There are less chances you will be getting shower on the trail. You can get it, but it will cost you around 400 Nepali rupees to 600 Nepali rupees. Next important topic is your technical and electronic gadgets. Charging your electronic devices on Everest Base Camp trek is little bit expensive. There is no electricity. Tea houses and lodges are depends on the solar charging. Cell phone charging will cost you around 300 to 400 rupees. Power bank, at some tea houses, they will cost you hourly. So if you are carrying 10,000, 20,000 mAh power bank, you can imagine how much you have to pay. I was carrying this 20,000 mAh power bank. It has 2 charging ports, and you can charge this power bank with Type C and micro USB as well. It has these 2 LEDs. You can use it as a torch as well. So how I was charging my devices? I got many questions. Yeah, that was the solar panel. So this solar panel I bought from Amazon for 3,500 Indian rupees. Its link is in the description below. So its output is 10 watt, 5 volt. For my 20,000 mAh power bank, to get it full charge, I haven't actually calculated, but my power bank charging never went below 50%. I also created one DIY converter to charge my DSLR batteries from my power bank. I have shown in my video, link is above. Your mobile phone chargers, the charging cables, if you have iPhone, if you have Android, keep one extra cable with you, because I lost my iPhone charging cable at Tengboche. If you are carrying camera, the memory card, extra memory card, battery, extra batteries, because Everest Base Camp trek passes through such majestic landscape, you will be clicking lots of photos. Also, if you are thinking that you will be charging your devices at the tea houses or lodges, you must carry a 3-pin socket. There are many trekkers, they will be plugging their charging devices in the sockets, and so there will be a huge crowd of charging devices. Digital trekking map. Actually on the Everest Base Camp, digital or offline map really not required. Trail is very much marked. If you want to use digital trekking map, so there is one app, maps.me, that you can use. Preparation for Everest Base Camp Trek. In this section, we are discussing about the physical training. The other aspects we already discussed in the separate sections. For preparation, you have to focus on your cardio endurance. Start taking diet which is rich in protein and carbohydrates. I would suggest start your training before 6 months of your trek. You can start with jogging, running or cycling. Slowly you can start with 1 kilometer. Gradually you can increase it 1 to 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 8 kilometers up to 10 kilometers. If you are already doing gym, that's great. If not, then you have to join the gym. Train your legs with the help of lunges, squats, leg press. Focus on your shoulders. If you are carrying your backpack, your shoulders should be strong. I would suggest go on the weekend treks nearby you, or you can go on the walk with your day pack for long distance like 8 to 10 kilometers. You also have to focus on your mental strength like yoga, meditation. You can challenge yourself to break your own records. Like in this week, you are able to run for 2 kilometers. Then next week, you can challenge yourself for 3 kilometers. I was doing cycling. I started with the 5-6 kilometers initially, and then my daily routine was 22 to 25 kilometers. Gradually, I increased that on the weekends, 50 kilometers, 60 kilometers, and 1 month before my Everest Base Camp Trek, I challenged myself for 100 kilometers, and I did 106 kilometers. There is a link of video in the I button. You can watch that video. If you have any medical history, you have to go to doctor and consult with your doctor. 2 years back, I gone through ACL reconstruction surgery. So I consulted my doctor before going to Everest Base Camp. I did couple of treks after my ACL surgery. There is a little discomfort, but I'm able to manage it. Also, you have to focus on your breathing exercises like holding your breath, pranayam. These kind of yoga activities you can concentrate on. After all of this physical preparation, there is a time to check your fitness. You will be able to jog or run 5 kilometers in 25 to 30 minutes. This is the benchmark. But don't get demotivated if you are not able to cover it. It's okay if you should be able to climb 30 to 40 stairs in one stretch. Also 15 to 20 push-ups in one set. Also squats and lunges, 2 sets of 15 to 20 repetitions. It's not mandatory exactly that you should meet this number. Your body, your posture and your physical fitness should be in a good position. The difficulty level. Everest Base Camp Trek is a difficult trek. There is a difference between difficult trek and expedition. Everest Base Camp Trek is not an expedition. It falls under trekking, and the trekking grade is difficult. There are a number of factors that makes trek difficult, moderate or easy. Total distance of Everest Base Camp Trek is 120 kilometers. Maximum altitude of Everest Base Camp 17,598 feet. And if you are attempting to Kalapatthar, it will be 18,517 feet. Your trekking distance will be minimum 7 kilometers and it will be up to 20 kilometers in one day. Trek duration minimum 4 hours to maximum 9 hours. Weather and temperature. There can be a snowfall or snowstorm on your trail. Temperature may drop minus 15 to minus 20 degrees Celsius. And number of days you are spending on the trail, 14 to 15 days. So all these factors take your trek into difficult grade. AMS, altitude mountain sickness. This is very important and serious factor. The cause of altitude mountain sickness is the less effective oxygen in the air. If it's not been diagnosed on the time, that will lead to the high altitude pulmonary edema and the next level, high altitude cerebral edema. Altitude mountain sickness can cause death. When I was preparing for my trek, I got a notification of a video on YouTube. One of the trekking company in the Nepal which I follows, an Indian solo trekker died on Everest Base Camp Trek. This was because altitude mountain sickness. If altitude mountain sickness not been diagnosed, it will lead to the high altitude pulmonary edema. And in high altitude pulmonary edema, water will get filled into your lungs and you will not be able to breathe. Even the worst next step is there will be swelling in your brain. This is what I read on the internet. Symptoms of altitude mountain sickness. Very first, headache, dizziness, tiredness, extreme fatigue, loss of appetite, nausea, shortness of breath, sleeplessness. These are the symptoms. Altitude mountain sickness can start at the altitude of 2,500 meters, that is 8,200 feet. Altitude mountain sickness can be prevented, but there is no medicine to cure the altitude mountain sickness. The only thing which we can do, we have to descend or we have to take the person to the lower altitude as early as possible. Very first, you shouldn't be gaining altitude more than 500 meters, 1,640 feet. You should be taking a rest day for acclimatization. Once you gain altitude 1,968 feet to 2,952 feet. If you are gaining this much altitude, you should spend one extra day on that particular altitude for acclimatization. Strictly, you shouldn't be smoking or taking alcohols in the mountains. Also, the people who used to stay at the coastal line near the sea level, if they are planning to go into the high altitude mountains, so they should start taking Dimox 48 hours prior entering into the mountains. Dimox is the tablet. Its scientific name is acetazolamide. It's a preventive tablet. You have to start taking this before entering into the mountains, but not when you catch altitude mountain sickness. There is no use of Dimox once you catch altitude mountain sickness. You can take paracetamol if you have severe headache. Dimox is the one of the preventive tablet you can take. If you already seen my video series, on my every video's thumbnail I have mentioned no Dimox. So I haven't taken any Dimox. Without Dimox, it's possible. But everyone's body is different. I'm repeating, everyone's body is different. It's not like that my body get acclimatized without Dimox, then your body will be. It's totally depend on you. That's why I have mentioned in my videos that you should get 14 to 15,000 feet altitude trekking experience, that you should know how your body will be reacting into the high altitude. You should drink 4 to 5 liters water per day. It's very important to stay hydrated. Even in the minus temperatures, you have to stay hydrated. That is the key. Garlic soup. Every Sherpa, every porter, every guide recommends to take garlic soup. That's a very good altitude mountain sickness preventive food. You can take garlic soup twice a day. That is very helpful. I also carried cloves with me. After every hour and 2 hours, I used to take one clove. There are other few things to keep in mind preventing you from altitude mountain sickness. Always cover your feet and head. One more important thing, cover your head but keep your ears open until and unless it's too chill, not able to control. You can see my videos, my ears were always open. Our body will detect the surrounding air pressure and start acclimatizing and start giving signals to our body to make the necessary changes like blood cells or etc. So if you catch headache, do one thing: 1 liter water, 1 Disprin tablet, drink that complete water and monitor yourself for 1 hour. But if it is altitude mountain sickness, it will not go. So you have to take decision wisely. If next day you are feeling good, then go to your next destination. Otherwise you have to descend down. Guys, this is very serious. So this video is too long. Let me know if this is useful. If you have any doubt, you can comment. I will try to answer your all questions. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video for good video algorithm. Share with your friends. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Stay tuned for my next adventure.